Hey everyone, so I'm getting on here. It's dark in Connecticut. It's late, but I really wanted to talk about this idea of cults because our children growing up in these homes are experiencing cultish leadership in the home, authoritarianism, this idea that if they don't do what the abuser wants them to do, the abuser may reject them. And then knowing that if they align with the abuser, they may in fact, hey Maggie, they may in fact push away or be rejected by the protective parent. So I'm saying all of this because I think it's really important that we think about how trapped our children are. They are trapped in this, under this regime of a coercive controller, narcissistic abuser. And in that, they are wondering which way is out. And sometimes the way out, the way that feels the safest, is to align with the oppressor. It's again this analogy to Hitler. People aligned even though they knew it wasn't right because that felt like the right thing to do. That felt like the safest thing to do. And our children are doing this all the time. So it's so important as protective parents that we understand that their alignment is not a rejection of us. And their biggest fear is that we will reject them, that we're going to be so angry or disappointed, or we're going to be so ashamed of their behavior that we're going to reject them. That is something that they can't tolerate. And so you see, it's easier to reject us than to have us reject them. And so what can you do as a protective parent? How can you help your child, right? You can simply just be benign, like just be available unconditionally. That's the most important thing that they need. They also, this unconditional love means that we're not asking them where they've been or why they believe their father or in any way grilling them the same way that the abuser does. Because when we grill them like the abuser does, we sound like the abuser. So what is it that you can do to regulate yourself, to help yourself feel more peaceful so that you can be available to your child in the way that they need you? Hard stuff. What are your triggers? How does your child trigger you? What are the things they say in text or when they call you or when they walk in the door that is really hurtful, right? And there's no denying that hurt. I always say the grief that we carry is so much more than we could ever imagine. It's not about diminishing your grief or ignoring your grief. It's about, okay, how do I show up in a way that overall my child thinks that I'm okay, that I'm not broken, that I'm strong, that I am going to be able to be leaned on. And so when we do this for our children, they begin to see that we're leanable, for lack of a better word. We are leanable. And so what can we do? How can you take care of yourself? How can you experience your child through a different lens? These children, who would your child be? This is a great question. Who would your child be if they were not living between your home and an abuser's home? Who would they be? That's who they really are. That was stolen from you and stolen from them, but that's who your child really is. So, who would your child be if they never had this interaction with this abuser? That's your baby right there. That's the one you want to focus on. I hope that's helpful. Thinking of you, you're doing the hardest work there is. Please subscribe and share if you think this information is helpful to anyone else. Thank you. Bye.